I'm Andrew Lora. I've been attending Valley for about 2 years now. I was lucky enough to be raised in a loving Christian household. So my dad, he was the spiritual leader in our household. And I think he got that from his parents, definitely. Suddenly, he passed unexpectedly. That piece was missing in our family. Around that time, being a 16-year-old, needing direction, needing, that guidance, especially from a father figure, that was suddenly taken. Started partying with friends in high school. Going further than that, developed into a pretty serious problem. Around 2010, things, life at that point was pretty much a mess. I was offered some help, left and went into rehab. Started on this new path, this new journey. So moving back to Bakersfield, I'm looking for work at this time. My dad worked for a local electrical company, Star Electric, and I reached out and, they brought me in right away and got me started. Every summer they always get a high school guy that's, looking for some kind of work, just graduated. They hand me this new guy to be, to ride with me and work with me. He was different than the rest of them, for sure. Out of nowhere, he started inviting me to this journey group. I immediately was turned off from it, wanted nothing to do with it. I'd say maybe 2 months of that, being invited every week, I told my wife one night, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go to shut him up. Next morning I go, it's at 6 a.m. here at Valley. Something was telling me this is where you need to be. And I was broken. My life was a mess at this point. Marital relationship was just, I'd say it was at the worst point it had ever been. I was an angry person and just not a fun individual to be around. I felt it inside. I wanted something different. One man in particular, we met one morning. He asked me if I wanted to pray and accept the Lord, into my life. We grabbed hands right there, and I asked, the Lord into my life, and my life looks completely different. My wife, she goes on a mother-son hike with the women's ministry here at Valley. She got to talking with a woman who begins sharing the gospel with her. She called me later on that day, and she was like, you won't believe this, but she makes a decision that day, and a few weeks later, my wife, she gets baptized here at Valley. From that point on, just got plugged in here as much as we could. We became, part of a life group. I'm singing in the choir. In 2 years, the amount of change that has transpired is unbelievable. It's been God's hand this entire time. That somebody that turned their back on him for so long, that he could care enough about to just make this total transformation. I'll say this: if you put your trust in God, your life will change. It undoubtedly will change. He has done it in my life, my family's life, and he could do it in yours.